This has been
Work with me here. Ready?
No, this is a question everybody's asking. This Dark Side Love.
Okay.
Where are they? Okay.
Palpatine Zetas.
Sure.
Give me 2, 3.
Okay.
I'll be happy with 2.
Okay.
Zeta seems like he needs to be patched up again.
Sure, totally.
And
so
Darth Vader.
All right, I'll tell you the same thing I have said, which is I promise you Dark Side Love is coming. I promise you.
Hey everyone, Nukin here, and I'm back with another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video. And that interview with I'm Not Really a Jedi was almost 2 months ago, where I was asking for the Dark Side Love, Darth Vader and Palpatine, and here we go. We're getting Omega reworks, we're getting new buffs, we're getting 3 Zetas between the two, and this was all hinted at the last forum post that was talking about the dark side of the Force as a pathway for some abilities that others might consider unnatural. And so I'm going to cover the kit changes real quick with everyone here. I'm also going to talk about the impact across all the game modes, and then we're going to look at some arena footage that is subject to change, but I don't think anything is really going to be changing in there. But make sure that you know that it's beta gameplay that is not coming from me. It was given to me because I'm a game changer, so keep that in mind. And then stay tuned later in the week. I'm going to be playing these characters on the dev account for sure, and probably also on my main account unless I can resist. And yeah, so hopefully everyone enjoys the video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let's get right into it. So let's jump right into the kit changes for Palpatine and Darth Vader. So let's talk about the Omega changes first, and I have underlined and boldfaced the changes to these abilities. So for Palpatine, his first special that does the AoE stun, the area effect stun, now grants offense up to all allies. So he's going to start off the match giving offense up and stunning enemies and granting buffs, so the very good change there. And then for his second special, now we have a brand new buff that is added to the arsenal of the Empire and the Sith, health steal up. So he's going to grant that to all allies on his second special. So very interesting changes to Emperor Palpatine. Now Darth Vader also got some changes. Now the rebels cannot resist the effects of his basic attack on top of Jedi, so he's going to be able to ability block any Jedi or rebel that he wants to. And on his Force Crush AoE special that applies the dots, that attack cannot be countered, which is very good against CLS rebel-led teams. Moving on to the Zeta abilities, Darth Vader is gaining a new Zeta. Actually, he's getting a whole new ability. It's called No Escape. It's a unique, and it has a Zeta on it. Like we said, at the start of each encounter, Darth Vader is going to gain 8 flat speed for a bunch of different conditionals, whether he's facing Jedis and Rebels, and how many Empire and Sith allies are on the team. I think, but don't quote me on this, that Palpatine and Darth Vader, since they have both tags, are going to get double the speed bonus for that ability, so don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it's going to work. Also, Darth Vader is going to recover 5% health whenever a damage over time, a dot debuff expires on an enemy, so he's going to be healing to full HP quite often, and he's immune to turn meter reduction. So a great ability for Arena, and it will also help a little bit in the raids, but a great Zeta ability for Arena. Now Palpatine got 2 different Zetas. One is on his leadership ability here, so the change portion that has boldface and underline, that is the Zeta portion of the ability. So on top of everything else, he's also now going to give Sith and Empire allies 5% turn meter whenever a debuff on an enemy expires. Now 5% doesn't sound like a lot, but there's a lot of debuffs that come out of these Empire and Sith teams. For example, Darth Vader himself applies like 2 or 3 dots and speed down, and that's just Darth Vader himself. So there's going to be a lot of debuffs, and there's going to be a lot of turn meter gain potential with this Zeta. Palpatine's second Zeta is on his unique. Now this ability has basically been completely reworked. So it used to activate at the end of Palpatine's turns. Now what it's going to do is it's going to activate at the start of each enemy turn. And what's going to happen is whenever there's 3 different conditionals, whether they are shocked, whether they are a Jedi, and whether they are a rebel, they're going to take damage equal to 20% of their max life. So potentially, I believe, if you're facing like Ezra Bridger there and you have him shocked, he's a Jedi and a rebel, I'm speculating that 60% of his max health is going to be basically damage to his straight to his health whenever he takes a turn. That sounds pretty good. The only portion, the sentence that remains the same, is that this damage can't defeat enemies, which is the same thing as before. And the new part here is that Palpatine is going to be a lot less squishy. He's going to have 50% max protection, and he's going to have the capability of becoming even more tanky because he gains 5% max protection every time he shocks an enemy. So he's going to be a lot less squishy, which is one of his weaknesses from before. Alright, so we have 3 arena battles that I'm going to highlight for everyone here. Now this is gameplay footage given to myself and all the other game changers. This is beta gameplay that's subject to change, so keep that in mind. I have 3 arena battles. I have Emperor Palpatine in the lead here facing a Jedi Training Rey team, and then we also have a Palpatine lead versus a Nightsister squad. So those 2 are the most popular teams right now. We also have a Darth Vader battle against a GK Zeta Bear squad as well to highlight at the very end. So 3 arena battles. Now let's keep in mind that this is basically gameplay that might not have the optimal teams. We're seeing that a Emperor Palpatine lead can take out a Jedi Training Rey squad, at least on offense, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure how they're going to do on defense. I don't know any of the modding that's on these characters, but it seems like they're able to do a good job. It seems like after reviewing the kits that a Darth Vader lead is going to be able to be about as good as maybe a CLS squad, which is promising, but we're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait until we can play with some of these characters. But basically what's happening here is a shift of balance of power back to the dark side. So ever since CLS Commander Luke Skywalker came out about, what, 7 months ago, he was game breaking, and a lot of people that were having fun with Tarkin leads, Thrawn leads, Darth Vader leads were shut out by the overbalance of power that Commander Luke Rebel squads were bringing to the table. But now with these reworks, with the Omegas and some of these Zeta abilities, you can run an Empire squad in Arena all over again. So now you can beat a lot of the CLS squads if they're still in your Arena. And as you can see here, you can beat down a Rey squad, at least on offense, on manual, so you don't have to run a Nightsister squad if you don't want to. A lot of the dark side players ended up switching to Nightsisters. They're quite fun, but not everyone is a Nightsister fan. So let's move into the Nightsister battle here. So this is also a Palpatine lead against a meta Nightsister squad. Sometimes the Nightsisters use General Kenobi, but Nightsister Acolyte is quite popular. And as you can see here, this squad just kind of rips them apart. It was a very easy match, but keep in mind that I'm not sure, you know, maybe the Nightsister squad wasn't modded very well or what have you. So that is a pretty, but it's a pretty good match here. Like, I mean, there's like no protection loss on this entire team. So not sure how much value we can get from this footage, but it looked like they owned them. Now here's the last battle. We have Darth Vader in the leadership position. No Palpatine, but look at this. We have a Wampa on the team, and Wampa is actually very good with Darth Vader. So, you know, maybe you can squeeze in Palpatine on this team, but the benefit here is that with a Darth Vader lead, you can get a lot of benefit from Wampa, which he's a pretty good character. So let's, you know, move into some of the impact that this might have into the game and let this arena battle finish off. So I think some impact that we're going to have is that with these Zeta abilities, you're going to have an impact on ships. Darth Vader is a pilot, so I'm expecting the ship to get stronger because he's getting a whole new ability that's a lot more power. and he's getting a Zeta on that, so that's even more power there. So that's going to be good. Now, I did a video on the Wampinator with Sir Georges. That team is going to get slightly stronger because he's going to get about, what, 24 speed. More speed means more turns, so he can maybe squeeze in more culling blades in phase 2, which is a difficult phase to basically surpass unless you have pretty good mods. But you don't need god mods, but it's going to help in that regard. It's also going to make Darth Vader more viable in arena, maybe even a competitive meta team potentially. It's going to help against CLS teams for sure, and of course your Darkside TB teams are going to get a lot stronger with some of these reworks. So who's going to be the best leader, Palpatine or Darth Vader? We're going to have to wait and see. Is Wampa going to become meta in arena? You know, I'll have to try that out, but we'll see. I'll come up with some teams. I'll theory craft, you know, some optimal teams with a Darth Vader lead and a Palpatine lead. I'll try them out on the dev account for sure, and basically whatever I conclude on, I might just do on my main account as well. I've been having a lot of fun with the Nightsisters, but I don't know if I can resist going back to running some Empire in Arena. It's always fun to run them, so we'll see what happens there. Alright, so it's time to wrap up here. This has been Nukin. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been a video on the reworks for Darth Vader and Palpatine. We covered their kits in detail. We looked at some arena battles, and now it's time to go. Stay tuned for the channel. There's going to be a lot of content coming out this week probably from me, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Then I'm the macho like Randy. The club will go out to the granny. This nigga pull up your bandit. The killers understand it.